So I did my sabbatical project. I started writing a textbook for my small group communication class. And the reason why I did that was I started teaching the class online, and I realized a lot of the students in my online class, I just didn't feel like the book really spoke to them in terms of how do they work together in groups in a virtual environment. So I went looking at all the different small group communication books that are out there and didn't really find any that were any better than the one that I was using currently. So I kind of came to the resolution, I guess I'm going to have to write that book. So the book was especially intended to be for my online students, but then as I started working with my publisher, we started talking about, well, really don't the face-to-face students need to know how to use technology to work together as well? So now the textbook is just, I guess, intended for a mainstream audience of small group communication, collaboration in the information age. And so I talk about how we use technology to collaborate together. And I also am trying to talk about the human side as well. Most small group communication texts talk about decision making in a very rational way in terms of how do we try and make our decision making more rational, because let's face it, a lot of times we don't make completely rational decisions. But there's good reasons why our decisions aren't entirely rational. If you look at some of the research on emotion, we find that the emotional brain actually knows more than the rational brain when it comes to it, and we should listen to it a little bit more. So I'm really interested in kind of talking about how we use both our rational brains and our emotional brains when it comes time to making decisions. And of course, it gets even more complex when we talk about not just making individual decisions, but making decisions together with other people in a group. And of course, that can create